In Pennsylvania, there is a small town that has been on fire for more than half a century. Houses collapsed into burning holes, streets cracked open. Smoke rose through people's living rooms. And one night, a 12-year-old boy was nearly swallowed alive by the ground itself. Today, the town is almost empty. The government erased it from the map. Yet the fire beneath it is still burning and may continue for another 200 years. This is the story of Centralia, the town that America quietly abandoned to the flames. In the late 1800s, Centralia was just another coal mining town. Coal was its life. Men worked underground. Children played on the slag piles above. Nearly everyone depended on the mines. By the 1960s, coal was already declining, but the town still had around 1,500 residents, a church, 5 hotels, a theater, and more than 24 businesses. Nothing about Centralia suggested that beneath its streets lay a labyrinth of abandoned coal. Tunnels, dry, dusty, and waiting for a spark. In May of 1960, the town prepared for Memorial Day. As usual, trash had piled up in an open pit on the edge of town, a common dump site directly above one of the old mine tunnels. To clean it before the holiday, the volunteer firefighters lit the trash on fire. They expected the flames to burn for an hour or two. But when the smoke finally cleared, they did not realize that the fire had slipped through a hidden gap in the pit and straight into the abandoned mine below. Once inside the tunnel system, the fire found what it needed: oxygen, dry coal, and endless fuel. The mine fire had begun. Within weeks, residents noticed smoke venting from the ground. The smell of sulfur became impossible to ignore. Town officials tried to suffocate the fire with dirt and clay, but every attempt failed. By 1970, temperatures underground exceeded 300 degrees Celsius. Gas monitors inside homes began to alarm. Children were told not to play outside. Dogs refused to walk across certain patches of earth. Centralia was slowly being cooked from beneath. Then, in 1981, disaster struck. A 12-year-old boy named Todd Dembowski fell through the earth. When the ground suddenly collapsed into a 45-meter-deep sinkhole filled with toxic gas, he survived only because his cousin was close enough to pull him out in time. The incident made national news, and for the first time the country realized Centralia was burning from below. Scientists soon mapped the underground fire and discovered it had spread far beyond the original landfill. Miles of coal seams were burning, some only a few meters beneath residential homes. Experts warned that the fire would be almost impossible to extinguish. The deeper it burned, the more oxygen it consumed, creating a system that sustained itself. The federal government faced a choice: spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a recovery effort, with no guarantee of success, or evacuate the town. Within a year, the government made its decision. Centralia would be abandoned. The state funded a relocation program. Homes were bought, boarded up, and bulldozed. By the 1990s, nearly the entire population had left. Only a handful of residents refused. They fought in court claiming their homes were safe enough. Some remained into the 2000s under lifetime rights agreements. In 2002, the United States Postal Service revoked Centralia's zip code. The town officially no longer existed. Today there are no stores, no schools, and no church bells. Just a few remaining houses and overgrown streets. But the fire continues to burn beneath them, slowly consuming the coal seams that once made the town prosperous. Experts believe it could burn for another 100 to 250 years before finally dying out. Centralia became a symbol, not of disaster, but of how quietly a community can vanish when industry and nature collide. A town that lived on coal was ultimately destroyed by it. And beneath its cracked pavement, the flames still tell that story.